In the headlines, Senate President Ahmed Lawan decries lack of CCTV in Kuje prison after ISWAP attack. Court disqualifies Oborewori as PDP governorship candidate, recognizes Devi. Nigeria gets biggest share of 27 trillion naira World Bank funding for Africa. And on the international scene, former Japan Prime Minister Shinzo Abe dies after being shot at stump speech in Nara. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining. And now the news in detail. President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan has said that Tuesday's attack on the Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center by terrorists speaks volumes about the failure of country's security architecture. Lawan stated this on Thursday when he led a delegation of the leadership of the Senate to assess the level of attack on the correctional facility by insurgents. According to the Senate President, an attack on the Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center could only have been possible with the collaboration of insiders within the nation's correctional system. The Senate President asked the Controller General of the NCS to include a request for provision of CCTV across maximum and medium correctional centers across the country in its 2023 budget proposal to the National Assembly for approval.
This attack here is not only a jailbreak. Is showing the problems associated with our security system in the country. Because for about 300 people to trek to this facility, come and do this kind of operation, and go away, and out of the 300, maybe 4 were taken out, says a lot about what our security situation is. So if this is what it is in the FCT, in other areas far away from the center of government will be worse.
You're here where intelligence is supposed to be shared. You cannot have 300 people walking, moving at the same time together, and you say that the security agencies could not trace them, they could not even intercept information. It's a very serious matter, because this is the Federal Capital Territory, just like His Excellency the Senate President has said. How is it possible that we could have this attack in the Federal Capital Territory, and they were able to gain access and leave without any heavy or serious resistance? I believe that the security agencies should put their heads together. Our various committees on security, intelligence, and even interior will be engaging very seriously.
And the Commissioner of Police and for State Command, Ayuba Elkanah, has assured of a robust partnership with the State Control of Correctional Services to rejig the security architecture of all correctional facilities and all the vulnerable infrastructure in the state. The Commissioner gave the assurance while meeting with the Controller of Nigeria Correctional Service, Zamfara State Command, to review the existing security of the centers domiciled in the state. The Commissioner assured adequate protection of all prisons and all the vulnerable infrastructure in the state and prevent any attack on such facilities by criminal elements. The Commissioner of Police, along with the Controller of Correctional Services, visited Medium Security Custodial Center in Gusau in a bid to assess the security architecture of the center. The Commissioner of Police, while reassuring the Controller of the Command's commitment to partner with other security agencies in the regard, called on the public to support the police with credible information on criminal or suspected activities in the state. The Westminster Magistrate Court in the United Kingdom ruled Thursday that David Nwamini Ukpo, the alleged organ harvesting victim in case involving former Nigerian Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, is not a minor. The court issued the order during the appearance of the Ekweremadu and his wife in court for the third time on Thursday. Nwamini, allegedly trafficked by a couple to harvest his kidney for their ailing daughter, told doctor that he was 15. The Westminster magistrate, according to BBC, while confirming that Nwanini was not a minor on Thursday, also ordered that the Ekweremadus remain in the custody of the Met Police till August 4, but their bail application will be heard at the next meeting. Still on legal matters, the Federal High Court Justice Taiwo in Abuja has disqualified Sheriff Oborowori, the candidate of the Delta State People's Democratic Party for the 2023 governorship election. Delivering judgment, Justice Taiwo agreed with the plaintiff that Oborowori ought not to be on the 2023 governorship election for the PDP on account of submitting alleged false and forged documents to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The judge subsequently directed INEC and the PDP to recognize the candidate of the PDP in the 2023 general election. And Oborowori was the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Delta State. And then the election of its governorship flag bearer then emerged. However, Olorogun David Edebi, a former Commissioner of Finance under former Governor James Ibori, who came second in the primary, had contended Oborowori's participation in the primary on the ground of alleged discrepancies in his academic qualifications as well as his age. He urged the court to bar PDP from submitting Oborowori's name as the flag bearer of the party. The government at all levels in Nigeria have been urged to adopt state and community policing as panacea to insecurity in the country. At a public lecture organized by Osun State Muslim community stakeholders said communities should be involved by owning the security architecture in their domains. The report.
The saying that security is everybody's business justifies the need to involve all stakeholders in the quest to protect lives and property. Over the years, there have been clamor for state policing to stem the tide of insecurity in Nigeria. This came to the fore again at the public lecture organized by Osun State Muslim community, where the guest speaker Fatai Kolawole urged the government to explore state and community policing. Kolawole said community and religious leaders know reliable individuals in their various communities who can serve in the state and community policing arrangement.
We cannot just be talking about deterrence, using the police, using the military to stem the tide. But we are recommending that we should now take this from the bottom-up approach. And that means the community itself, we use vigilance in our environment, the community itself should be able to police themselves. The states will also be involved in policing their state. And in doing this, we must ensure that those to be recruited into the community policing, state policing, are credible people. And they are recommended by community leaders who have proven integrity.
President of Osun State Muslim Community, Mustafa Olawi, noted that gap in the ratio of police officers to Nigerians justified the calls for state and community policing.
You talk about policing the country. Yes, the number of police per the population of Nigeria today is not enough. It's nothing to write home about. You can see how many people are manning Osogbo here, not to cover any other town. So we don't have enough police. So people are talking about community policing. Yes, if it's going to be managed properly, let it be.
One of the participants, Molikat Adekunle, urged security agencies to shun rivalry and cooperate and deal with security challenges.
Civil defense, then Amotekun, then we have the Odua, and all these vigilantes, provided they can work together. I think that will assist us.
Stakeholders at the event are hopeful that the relevant authorities will strongly consider the resolutions on the need for state and community policing to enable the country surmount the present security challenges.
And after more than 100 days in captivity, the family of one of the abducted victims of Abuja-Kaduna train attack has told Trust TV that the family is surviving by the mercy of God as the trauma from the kidnap of their loved ones is taking an alarming toll on them. Hafsat Bukar, the wife of one of the abductees and mother of two, says life has become unbearable with her husband still in the forest and a male child continually asking when his father is coming back. The report.
Hafsat Bukar lived at Rigasa community in Kaduna with her husband until his abduction by terrorists who attacked the Abuja-Kaduna train. She says for over 100 days now, life has been unbearable as she and her two children continue to rely on God for the safe return of their father.
Rayuwa sai dai mu ce alhamdulillah. Mun gode wa Allah shi ya daura mana jaraba wannan kuma shi.
We thank God, but it is not easy. But we believe in God and people around help us to survive. We have faith in God that they will definitely come back. We live in agony when my husband is in captivity.
Su kuma Allah ya fito mana da su lafiya cikin aminci da salama.
An atmosphere of loneliness reigns in their home despite the presence of the wife and children. This vacuum is what has exacerbated the trauma.
Dole ne za ka ji ba daɗi a ce wanda kake ƙarƙashin shi da 'ya'ya kuke da shi kuma a ce kai kana gida kana ɗaki a rufe kana rayuwa shi kuma yana jeji.
When your husband is in captivity, we are so lonely. My son cries all the time, asking when is daddy coming back.
Yaushe zai dawo? Tambayan da kullum yake yaushe zai dawo? Shi dadi ba zai dawo ba? To ki kai ni gurin shi, dole ne dama yaro yayi wannan tambayan.
Muhammad Ibrahim is a brother to the victim. He occasionally supports his abducted brother's family as a way of easing the burden occasioned by the brother's absence. We do our best to support the family. We appreciate the support of friends and neighbors. He is my neighbor. We always together with him. We believe in God that he will come back. Why? There is an audio recording in circulation where Ansar Group said they will start slaughtering the kidnapped passengers within 24 hours if government fail to secure the release of the victim, send shivers down their spine. However, Hafsat says they trust in God for safe return of her husband.
And now to Taraba State, where pensioners on Thursday declared the non-payment of their entitlements for 8 years by the governor, Darius Ishaku. Reports say that the pensioners had earlier protested to the state government house demanding for the entitlements, but were not received by any official. The state chairman of the union, Kefas Ketan, who led the protest, told journalists that the state government was owing retirees over 30 billion naira for the past 8 years.
To His Excellency, in his absentia, he's not in the state. So the admin department collected the letter they signed. We advise them from today henceforth. If our pensioners at the local government and retirees that have not been enrolled for 8 years, 9 years, this protest will continue. We have started now. We have started. That is phase 1. Phase 2 is coming up, and then the third one. We will not stop until our demand is met. The quantum of the letter, that is the payment of our pensioners and gratuity, and non-payment of our allowances, payrolling. We want the government to enroll those pensioners from the local government who spend about 10 years without enrolling. We want the government to enroll them.
You're watching Trust TV News updates coming up after the break. Maiduguri residents decry hike in price of bread. This and other stories shortly. To stay. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust Television. Before the rest of the news, let's take a look at our headlines again. We told you that Senate President Ahmed Lawan decries lack of CCTV in Kuje prison after ISWAP attack. And the court disqualifies Oborowori as PDP governorship candidate, recognizes Adebi. And moving on to other news, the parents have been called upon to prioritize the education of their children to enable them contribute positively to nation building. The head of Ruga Community, a suburb in the Federal Capital Territory, Rahman Shuaibu, stated this in a chat with Trust TV. Kabir Lawal has more.
Education is one of the best legacies parents can bequeath their children, hence the need for not just parents but also government to give support, especially to those living in rural areas.
Fundamental is the essence and the foundation upon which nations are built. Right? To have an educated population is to ensure that your nation, especially as Nigerians, has the basic capacity to build a very civilized society. Education is the...
Amina Abdul Mumin, a woman activist, says developing the nation should start from the grassroots through the provision of social amenities, as it paves way for those at the level to feel carried along in nation building, irrespective of tribe or religious differences.
The boy that you saw reading ABCD earlier, when we came to this community, he couldn't even identify the letter A. And in 2 months already, this boy is fluently identifying his capital letters and his small letters. So we believe that with baby steps, we will get there. It is the responsibility of federal government to ensure that each and every Nigerian feels included as a community and as a Nigerian. These people have lived here for over 80 years. No water, no electricity, no toilet, no schools. And we're complaining about banditry. So until we can give them a sense of belonging, until we can make them feel that they're very much a Nigerian like any Hausa, Yoruba, Efik, Borno.
A cross-section of Nigerians believe that education the younger generation will make them good ambassadors of the nation.
That was not built on education. There is no any way that that country will develop. Let's all try, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of ethnicity, let's try and build this nation through education.
Children in the community express happiness to receive formal education, which they believe holds the key to their success in life. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And Maiduguri residents have decried the hike in the price of bread and other commodities in the market. The high cost of flour and the general impact of inflation on goods and services is threatening bakeries in Maiduguri as they face a likely shutdown. Take a look.
Bread is one of the most consumed commodities in Maiduguri. This explains its wide patronage around the city. But the recent increase in the price of a loaf of bread is scaring residents and leaving a few hawkers in the street selling the commodity. The high price of flour has led to a reduction in production as well as demand in some factories. Abdullahi Saleh, a baker, says he had no choice but to increase the price per loaf to keep his business running. He's considering shutting down the facility to venture into another enterprise, but he's still making consultations.
The
business is facing serious problem. I am planning to switch to another business. A bag of flour in the market is over 25,000 naira. Sugar is over 20,000 naira. Other ingredients prices has increased. The quality of bread has dropped too. If we will produce good quality, bread of 400 naira, it will cost 800 naira. 200 naira will cost 400 naira. So people will not buy, and we are not happy too. Some residents say the astronomical increase in the prices of goods and services has worsened the present economic challenges facing them. Before, 200 naira bread can serve breakfast for you and your family, but now even 500 naira can't. Because of the expense, I've stopped eating bread. Now I and my family eat only swallow. We even eat it as breakfast. Just managing to sell. Customers don't patronize us like before, despite increasing the price, and nylon is expensive. So we too had to increase our price, and a lot of people are complaining. Government should do something about it. Nigerians on the streets of Maiduguri are hopeful that the government will address the rising inflation to enable small businesses stay aloft.
And in business news, Nigeria will get the biggest share of the $65 billion funding from the World Bank's International Development Association, IDA, to African countries. This was announced Thursday when President Muhammadu Buhari joined African leaders in Dakar, Senegal, to launch the largest financial package of $93 billion ever mobilized in the history of the IDA for a robust and resilient economy for Africa. The 20th replenishment package, IDA 20, is also expected to help low-income countries respond to the COVID-19 crisis. The senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, in a statement titled, "At Dakar Summit, Nigeria gets a big slice of IDA financial package," said 70%, which is $65 billion of the entire package, which amounted to $93 billion, will be channeled to various African states, with the largest share being allocated to Nigeria. President Buhari said the package will prioritize some key areas such as agriculture and food security, human capital, climate change adaptation, bridging the gender gap, job creation, digital and technological innovation, among others. The Naira depreciated against the dollar at the investors' and exporters' window on Thursday, exchanging at 428 Naira 16 kobo to the dollar. The figure represented an appreciation of 10 kobo percent, 10% rather, compared with 427 Naira 75 kobo for which it exchanged for the dollar on Wednesday. The open indicative rate closed at 426 Naira 31 kobo to the dollar on Wednesday. The Naira sold for as low as 413 Naira 50 kobo for the dollar within the day's trading. A total of $224.84 million traded in foreign exchange at the official investors and exporters window on Thursday. And on the foreign scene, former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is dead after being shot on Friday while delivering a stump speech in the western city of Nara 2 days ahead of the national election, a ruling party source said. And former Japanese longest-serving leader was attacked by a 41-year-old man from behind at around 11:30 a.m. when he was speaking in front of the railway's Yamato Sadaji station, police said, and adding that he collapsed to the ground after 2 shots were heard. He was rushed to the hospital with blood seen on his shirt. And Tatsuya Yamagami, a resident of Nara, was arrested at the scene on suspicion of attempted murder. The police said that the suspect was formerly a member of the Maritime Self-Defense Force, according to government sources. And finally, in sports, the former FIFA president Sepp Blatter and France football legend Michel Platini were both cleared of corruption charges by a Swiss court on Friday. Blatter, who led FIFA for 17 years, was cleared of fraud by the Federal Criminal Court in the southern city of Bellinzona. Platini, a former France national team captain and manager, was also acquitted of fraud. Those charges were placed against their name in November following an investigation launched by prosecutors in 2015 into a payment of 2 million Swiss francs arranged by Blatter to be paid to Platini by FIFA in February 2011. The case saw Blatter forced to end his 17-year reign as FIFA president in 2015 and dashed hopes of former France midfielder Platini of succeeding him. Platini was forced to quit UEFA in 2016. And with that, we have come to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, you can follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.